everyone. Hi. Wave if you can hear me, so that's good. All right. Oh, everybody gets really quiet really quick. That's great. Welcome to the 2016 Case Western Reserve Alumni Association Awards Luncheon. I am Brad Cruz, Senior Executive Director. I would like to welcome everyone to the luncheon. Please enjoy your salads as I talk. Enjoy your meal throughout the program today. First of all, I'd like to give a round of applause to the Case Western Reserve, to the jazz ensemble from the Case Western Reserve Music Department. Good job. Today they are using a piano donated graciously by Nancy Curfews Johnson. Nancy, will you stand? Are you here? All right, she's a triple alumna of Case Western Reserve University. We want to thank Nancy for her gift of music and for leading a campaign to restore instruments and donate pianos to our campus. It's wonderful to have all of you back on campus and to share your joy in recalling great memories. You are living proof we can continue to think beyond the possible, achieve the dreams that are born of our boldest thoughts. I hope you are as proud of Case Western Reserve as we are of you. It is a thrill to welcome you home. Homecoming is a celebration for our entire community, including alumni, family, friends, faculty, staff, and students. I would like to ask this year's homecoming court to please stand and be recognized. These are exceptional young leaders on our campus who embody the Case Western Reserve spirit. It is also great to have so many members of the university's leadership team in attendance today. This group includes our distinguished deans. When I call your name, please stand and be recognized. From the College of Arts and Sciences, Dean Cyrus Taylor. From the School of Medicine, Dean Pamela Davis. Case School of Engineering, Dean Jeff Durick. School of Law, Dean Jessica Berg. School of Law, Dean Michael Scharf. School of Dental Medicine, Dean Kenneth Chance. Jack, Joseph, and Morton Mandel School of Applied Social Sciences, Dean Cleve Gilmore. Francis Payne Bolton School of Nursing, Dean Mary Kerr. Weatherhead School of Management, Dean Robert Whiting. We would also like to welcome our alumni back to campus, particularly those who graduated 50 or more years ago from the university. We call these our grand classes. We have more than 200 grand class alumni attending this weekend's festivities, and about 100 are in this room today. If you're a member of the grand class, could you stand or wave and let us congratulate you? Quite a showing. Welcome home. Last night, we celebrated those who contributed to the annual fund at the year-end celebration. Your gifts to the annual fund are further recognized with the N distinction. I think you read what my fingers are doing. N distinction on your name badge. Every donation you make to the annual fund makes a difference, and we thank you for that. For our loyal and true supporters, please be sure to visit the Shine On area, which is just downstairs in this building near the registration on the first floor. The Shine On area recognizes alumni commitment to the university as donors and also as volunteers. We will distribute sentiments expressing our deep appreciation, including a message of thanks, a button, and a cookie. Thanks to all of our alumni donors and volunteers for all of the ways you help the university shine on. At this time, I invite you to enjoy your lunch. Servers will be around with your entrees, and I'll be back momentarily to introduce President Snyder. Thank you. Hello, everyone. It gives me great pleasure to introduce the president of Case Western Reserve University, Barbara R. Snyder.
Oh, good afternoon. It is great to be able to welcome you all back to campus, to homecoming weekend. I hope you enjoy the many activities we have planned. I hope you catch up with some old friends and check out what's new at Case Western Reserve. I want to add to Brad's congratulations to our grand classes. It is always wonderful to see so many of you return to campus. We greatly appreciate your continued commitment to your alma mater. Like the Cavs, Case Western Reserve had a memorable year. Okay, maybe not quite as memorable as that, but really good. And of course, we're hoping for the same thing for the Indians. We have a lot to share with you since last homecoming. More than a month ago, we welcomed our newest undergraduate class, the class of 2020. And they are some of the most accomplished students in our history. Their average SAT tied for the best ever with last year's entering class. They plan to major in 64 different fields of study. They've earned all kinds of awards. Almost 80% of them come from outside the state of Ohio. About 15% are international students. They are a bright, talented, wonderful bunch of young people, and I hope you will see some of them in your activities around the campus because they're here. Our supporters continue to show tremendous generosity in supporting our capital campaign. For the 9th time in the past 10 years, the university set an all-time annual fundraising record. We raised $174.1 million this past year. And that is thanks to many people, including many people in this room. It's $100 million more than we raised in 2007 and one of 18 all-time fundraising records we set during the year. We are making great progress toward our $1.5 billion capital campaign goal. But as wonderful as these numbers are, and they are wonderful, it is really about the people who benefit from the investments that our donors make. That really is the difference, and that's what I want to talk about today. First, of course, we have more scholarships than ever to offer our undergraduate students and our graduate and professional students. We've raised nearly $200 million in the capital campaign. Scholarships allow our students to come to Case Western Reserve with less debt, with less stress, and with the ability to take full advantage of the academic, the research, the extracurricular activities that a Case Western Reserve education provides. Here you see a group of undergraduate scholarship recipients. Sierra Lipscomb, who is pictured to the right, is from Cleveland. She attended John Hay High School, and she told us that her family's total annual income is less than 1 year of college tuition here at Case Western Reserve. She did not know how she would get to Case Western Reserve. Because of the scholarship that we were able to give her, she's here and doing beautifully. Next to Sierra is Daniel Rave, who graduated in May. He too attended our university because of the scholarship that he received. While he was a student here, he learned that he has a passion for service, and he is serving in the Peace Corps today in West Africa, and we are proud of him. The Judge Ben C. Green Distinguished Scholarship provides support to students at our School of Law. Samantha Smith received this scholarship in 2015 as a new first-year law student. This scholarship allows her to attend with much reduced debt and enables her to pursue her interest in international criminal law, and also allows her to volunteer at the Juvenile Detention Center through our street law program. Another critical area of our capital campaign is raising funds for endowed professorships. These allow us to attract and retain the very best faculty members, and that is essential to our continued reputation. Through our capital campaign, we have added 83 new endowed faculty positions. An endowed professorship is among the highest honors that we bestow on our faculty. Last year, Yasuhiro Shirai, who studies the acquisition of first and second languages, and particularly the acquisition of Japanese, received the Eric Borva Professorship of Modern Languages. Thalia Dorwick, who is a member of our Board of Trustees and a double alumna, as well as the donor of this professorship, arranged for this generous gift to also provide for the Eric Borva Fund for Foreign Language Instruction. This year, Hope Barkoukas, who studies aging, glucose metabolism, and sports nutrition, became the inaugural Jack, Joseph, and Morton Mandel Professor in Wellness and Preventative Care. Professor Barkoukas is also the faculty leader of the Mandel Wellness and Preventative Care Pathway at our School of Medicine. This is yet another example of the extraordinary generosity we have received from our graduate, Mort Mandel, and the Mandel Foundation. More about him later. In addition to scholarships and professorships, our capital campaign continues to have an extraordinary effect on the transformation of Case Western Reserve's research portfolio, as well as our academic programs. Let me give you just a few examples. Building on additional gifts to Case Western Reserve and Cleveland Clinic to advance our understanding of the link between HIV and the body's response to autoimmune diseases, the Feisenmeyer Foundation gave $18.5 million in new grants for collaborative research, physician-scientist recruitment, and support for the Richard J. Feisenmeyer Center for Clinical Immunology at Cleveland Clinic in perpetuity. Michael Letterman and Leonard Calabrese were among the first in the country to begin working on HIV/AIDS. Their efforts helped change what was once a fatal disease to become a chronic condition, but they are not done. They continue to seek cures and vaccines, and we are so proud that they are faculty members at Case Western Reserve. Along the way, their findings help provide insights for other autoimmune diseases, and the new gift from the Feisenmeyer Foundation allowed us to recruit another brilliant scientist to add to the team, Rafik Pierre Sekeli, who is one of the world's leaders in immunology and immunotherapy research. Earlier this year, Nicole Steinmetz, a faculty member in the Department of Biomedical Engineering, received a nearly $800,000 grant from the American Cancer Society to produce a new chemotherapy system designed to combat triple-negative breast cancer, which is one of the most aggressive forms of the disease. Professor Steinmetz's goal is to have the drugs distributed throughout the tumor to produce a greater therapeutic effect. And she is starting to make a difference in the treatment of the disease. The Sears Think Box in the Ritchie Mixon building has received some extraordinary philanthropic support, and our students are benefiting every day from this incredible resource. They've created new companies, they've showcased their device prototypes at the big Consumer Electronics Show in Las Vegas, they participated in maker fairs and entrepreneurial events at the White House. One company that emerged out of the Sears Think Box is called PeriHug, co-founded by Junior Zyla Foxland. PeriHug is a company that provides digital hugs using a Wi-Fi connection and a teddy bear. She took a $1,000 grant from our Sears Think Box program, built a prototype, and she and her co-founder took it to the Consumer Electronics Show, along with other students through our Case Western Reserve LaunchNet program with the support of the Burton D. Morgan Foundation. This is just another of the many ways that these investments are helping our students, our faculty, our staff, and our campus. The capital campaign has also allowed us to improve the physical campus through new buildings or renovated spaces. In the past year, we've celebrated the opening of Phase 1 of the Maltz Performing Arts Center, Phase 1 of the Sears Think Box in the Ritchie Mixon building, the Albert and Norma Geller Hillel Student Center, the renovation of the Jack, Joseph, and Morton Mandel School of Applied Social Sciences. And last year, we broke ground on the Health Education Campus with Cleveland Clinic, which is on track to open in the summer of 2019. You can see our construction project from earlier this week. And actually, if you're interested, I can give you the webcam address. You can watch it every day. In November, we will break ground on the Nord Family Greenway. And if you look outside in the pre-function space out there when you leave, you can see a model of the Nord Family Greenway to better appreciate how it will beautifully connect the center of our campus, the Cleveland Museum of Art, the Maltz Performing Arts Center, and the surrounding community. We continue to respond to a challenge grant for the Lucius Smith Nash Walkway, which will transform we call it a pathway, but it might better be described as an alley, that runs from Juniper to Ford along Bellflower. It will connect our North Residential Village to the main campus. I am sure you are familiar with the area in front of Laubitro and behind the Mandel School. It's not so beautiful today, but when the Lucius Smith Nash Walkway is completed, it will be stunning. Although not a result of our fundraising efforts, I do want to mention that tomorrow we will celebrate the dedication of our newest residence hall to honor the late Congresswoman Stephanie Tubbs Jones. This was a suggestion from a student group called We Belong Here, and I agreed, and so did our board, that it was a wonderfully appropriate way to honor the late Congresswoman, who was a double graduate of Case Western Reserve and a dear friend of our university. So we will be celebrating that tomorrow and hope that many of you can join us. In February, we will dedicate the Linsalata Alumni Center, and I know you will all enjoy meeting and attending events in this beautiful new space. As you can see, we continue to think beyond the possible. We are so grateful for your continued engagement, your support, your commitment to help us advancing the world-renowned research, teaching, and innovation for which Case Western Reserve is known. I am thrilled that we have such a lovely weekend for homecoming, and I look forward to seeing you later today for tomorrow's homecoming parade. We would love to have you come to the homecoming parade. I promise I will wave to you. And I will be in the back of the convertible with our Grand Marshal. And we will also have a terrific football game where we will cheer on our Spartans against the Teal College Tomcats. Thank you all so much for joining us today. Please enjoy the weekend. Thank you. And I am now delighted to turn things over to the president of our Alumni Association Board, Jeff Verespi.
Thank you very much, President Snyder. On behalf of the Alumni Association, I am proud to echo Brad's welcome to alumni, to faculty, to staff, to family, to students, and everyone in attendance today. Earlier today, I'm very proud to announce that during our annual meeting of the Alumni Association, we welcome 2 new board members to our organization. I would like to ask them to stand and ask everyone to please join me in welcoming Aishwarya Arjunan and Tom Iha. Aishwarya is a Case Western Reserve University graduate from the class of 2010, and Tom is a Case Institute of Technology graduate from the class of 1969. I'd also like to recognize the current board members in attendance today for the Alumni Association Board of Directors. Please rise. And board members, please remain standing as I ask the Emeriti board members in attendance to join you. We thank you all for your continued support. Throughout the year, alumni offices associated with Case Western Reserve University, as well as the CWRU Pride Alumni Network and the African American Alumni Association, present awards to alumni. These awards recipients are listed on the back of your program and will be honored throughout the weekend. We'd like to ask all recipients who are here today to please stand so we may recognize you. Please join me in a round of applause for these winners. This afternoon, though, we will be focusing on the Alumni Association's awards, which celebrate excellence by honoring alumni who have brought extraordinary pride to the Case Western Reserve University community. Our recognition committee is chaired by board members Chris Hook, a dual alumnus from 2003 and 2004, and Jane Daroff from the Mandel class of 1985. I would like to thank both of them for their hard work in putting together this important program and their dedication to their alma mater. And we invite them on stage to honor our recipients. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Jeff. We will begin our program with the Young Alumni Award, recognizing an outstanding graduate of Case Western Reserve University, who is a 35-year-old, this is a 35-year-old or younger person. This is given to a graduate who has demonstrated excellence in their professional field and has demonstrated service to their community, the public, or humanity, embodying the values and spirits of the university. This year's Young Alumni Award is presented to Alexandra I've practiced this so many times, Rakitskaya, School of Medicine, 2008. Nominated by Michael Asri, Case Western Reserve class of 1993, and her husband, which makes this award even more special. Alexandra is a physician scientist at the Cole Eye Institute of the Cleveland Clinic. While working hard to promote diversity in a male-dominated field of ophthalmology, she serves on a team for the Argus II Retinal Prosthesis System Program, an eye implant that electrically stimulates areas of the retina to give sight to those who have completely lost their vision. This team of surgeons is the only team in Ohio and one of the few in the nation to have performed this surgery, and the Cleveland Clinic is one of the main research sites utilizing Argus II. She has won numerous prestigious fellowships, including the Howard Hughes Medical Institute, National Institutes of Health Research Scholars Program, as well as published numerous articles and journal contributions. In honor of an impressive start to what will certainly be an impressive career, it is my pleasure to present Alexandra with the 2016 Young Alumni Award. This is very exciting.
Thank you so much. It's such a great honor to be the recipient of this award, and I have a lot of people to thank. I would like to thank my colleagues at Cleveland Clinic, Cole Eye Institute, Dr. Alex Yoon, who is my collaborator in Argus implantation, and also Dr. Dan Martin, who is my chairman and has been a great support to me. I would also like to thank my family and my parents. My mom, Olga, is here in the audience today with us, and my wonderful husband, Michael. And of course, I would like to thank Case Western Reserve University, and in particular, School of Medicine. It is truly here that I started the foundation and built the foundation for what I'm doing now. I met a lot of great mentors while I was here. In particular, I would like to mention Dr. Robert Haney, who was a mentor for me during my med school years. And I would like to thank all of you for being here today. Thank you so much.
Again, congratulations to Dr. Rakitskaya. Our next award is the Daniel T. Clancy Alumni Service Award, which honors the legacy of Dan Clancy, who is the former Executive Director of University Alumni Relations, former Associate Dean of the Law School, and a 1962 law school graduate. We are fortunate that Dan and his wife, Carol, were able to join us today, and we're pleased you're able to enjoy this experience. The award is intended for an outstanding Case Western Reserve graduate who has been active in the alumni community for at least 15 years and has made significant contributions to Alumni Association and its programs. This year's recipient is Nancy Fink, Western Reserve College, class of 1973. Nominated by fellow past board members and friends Michael Magnus, Case Western Reserve class of 1970 and law school class of 1973, and Rebecca Montague, School of Management classes of 1988 and 1998. Nancy has a long history of involvement with the Washington, Baltimore, D.C. chapter, working to provide local alumni the opportunity to engage with Case Western Reserve and network with our fellow graduates. As an admissions ambassador, Nancy helps recruit the next generation of Case Western Reserve students by conducting candidate interviews and sharing her own Case Western Reserve experiences. On a national level, she has served as board president of the Alumni Association and has remained active as an emeritus board member, including here this weekend. She has held numerous roles within the alumni relations arena, including chair of the Alumni Groups Committee and co-chair of the Alumni Weekend Committee. For her unending enthusiasm and invaluable spirit, it is my pleasure to honor Nancy Fink with the 2016 Daniel T. Clancy Alumni Service Award.
So you can see the speech has gone through a few different iterations, so hopefully we'll get it right. So before I start, I have to admit that writing this speech wasn't easy. When I was president of the Alumni Association, I was fortunate to have Eric Dicken put words in my mouth twice. So this is my first attempt at doing it on my own, so here goes. Mark Twain said, "Find a job you enjoy doing, and you will never work a day in your life." I'm pretty lucky. I love what I do professionally, and I'm equally enamored of my volunteer activities, especially those involving anything that has to do with Case Western Reserve University. Not only did my undergraduate education afford me amazing opportunities, but my volunteer activities have provided me an opportunity to stretch, learn, and network with some accomplished folks. As an undergraduate, I have strong memories of seeing Jane Fonda speak in front of Hayden Hall. In retrospect, there's a little irony there. Sitting in the middle of Euclid Avenue protesting and subsequently being chased by Cleveland's finest mounted police force, to sitting on stage at Severance for graduation, although I never understood why those of us who graduated with honors sat in the bleachers and everyone else had those wonderful orchestra seats. It took a while for my volunteerism to get into high gear, and sadly, I waited 25 years to come back to campus. Through my volunteer activities, I've had the opportunity to chat with David Satcher as we were waiting for the rain to stop so we can process at commencement. I had the chance to sit next to Lucy's dad, Don Johansson, and perhaps the highlight as a row captain at commencement to tell the Honorable Louis Stokes where to sit. The common theme is that I've been blessed to have such an amazing alma mater, one that continues to evolve and is filled with energy that comes from students, faculty, administration, and such noteworthy individuals as Barbara Snyder, Bruce Lacine, Laura Califatis, Brad Cruz, and of course Dan Clancy, for whom this award is named. Thank you.
Congratulations, Nancy. Next, I would like to present the Newton D. Baker Distinguished Service Award, which is given for outstanding service to the university. The award honors the legacy of Cleveland's Newton D. Baker, who urged everyone he met to volunteer their time and their talent in service to those in need. This year's recipient is Donald Foster, a Delbert College class of 1950. Nominated by John Massey, Case Institute of Technology class of 1966, Donald Foster has generously and tirelessly given more than 30 years of service to the Village Network, formerly known as Boys Village in Smithville, Ohio. During that time, the Village Network has grown from a small organization to a statewide organization, serving troubled children and their families through residential and day treatment, foster care, and a host of other services. Mr. Foster's dedication to the improvement of himself and others is no surprise when you consider his time at Case Western Reserve, where he served as president of Phi Gamma Delta, the president of the Student Council, as a wrestler, and earned a membership to the Spartan Club. The Alumni Association is particularly thankful to Mr. Foster for his involvement and vision as the co-chair of fundraising for the Lensalata Alumni Center in 2007, serving alongside his dear friend and fraternity brother, Dr. Ted Castell. For his leadership, service, and commitment to CWRU, it is my pleasure to present Donald Foster with the 2016 Newton D. Baker Award.
Thank you. It's with deep appreciation and humility that I accept the Newton D. Baker Award. It's an honor also to be included with such distinguished award recipients. The education and skills I received as a student at Reserve had served me well in my corporate and public endeavors. I came to Reserve in 1946, that's a long time ago, believe it or not, on a football scholarship. We weren't very big in those days. But in spite of the size, we played with against teams like Pitt, West Virginia, Brown, Rutgers, and it was also the start of the Mid-America Conference. So we played a lot of big-time schools and didn't do very well, really. In fact, it was at the University of Brown in Providence, Rhode Island, that ended my football career because I got carried off the field. But the university, and I'll always remember this, even though I couldn't play football, they paid for my surgery at University Hospital and continued my scholarship, even though I couldn't contribute to the football team. Returning to Ohio after business assignments in North Carolina, California, Tennessee, and Connecticut, I was able to finally renew my association and interest with the university and with the Village Network. It was an honor to work with my fraternity brother and good friend Ted Castell after Dan Clancy corralled us to go to work on the development of the Alumni House. And it was a shame that Ted was not able to live to see the results of his endeavor. And I'm truly pleased if you have an opportunity, take a look at the Alumni House. It's a great, great opportunity. The other interest that I have that's been close to my heart is the Village Network. The Village Network serves the needs of troubled boys and girls in 65 counties in Ohio, and it is considered to be the leader in the care of youth and their families by improving their behavioral life and well-being and the quality of life. And I'm truly pleased to be a part of that association. Again, thank you for this honor.
Congratulations again to Don. Our next award is the Professional Achievement Award, which recognizes a graduate of Case Western Reserve University who has achieved exceptional accomplishment in his or her career and has brought distinction to themselves and to the university through leadership in their professional community. We are pleased to present this year's Professional Achievement Award to Professor Shalidzi Marwala, Case Western Reserve University class of 1995. Nominated by Habib Diallo, Case Western Reserve class of 1997, Professor Marwala is the current Deputy Vice Chancellor of Research and Innovation at the University of Johannesburg. After receiving his undergraduate education at Case Western Reserve University, he earned his master's in mechanical engineering from the University of Pretoria in South Africa and his PhD in engineering from the University of Cambridge. In addition to holding numerous professional positions and titles, Professor Marwala is well known throughout South Africa for his work in all spheres of government and industry and for leading delegations to the South African Parliament. Professor Marwala has published numerous technical papers, as well as papers exploring the link between science policy and development, the development of states, and democratization. Professor Marwala has been featured on television, radio, and in newspapers, and has been published in The Economist, New Scientist, and Time magazines. Despite his busy professional career, he has and still continues to mentor students and has supervised the progression of 45 master's and 19 PhD students. Today, Professor Marwala has traveled more than 8,000 miles to join us here for this luncheon. It is my pleasure to present Professor Tisdi Marwala with the 2016 Professional Achievement Award.
Thank you very, very much for inviting me to come and receive this award. I came to Case 25 years ago as an 18-year-old. And I must confess, Case is actually one of the best universities that I've actually attended. I think the multidisciplinary educational background that I was given at this great institution actually served me well. It prepared me for the challenges of moving society forward. I'm reminded of what my grandmother always said. She used to say that knowledge only becomes education when it finds a purpose in life and fulfill that purpose. And I think this is a theme that was actually reinforced throughout my education here at Case. I also would like to thank the teachers that taught me here at Case. Great professors, passionate about what they do. And I think just by watching how well they understood the material that they were teaching us, it was quite inspiring. And I think they should keep it up. You know, many of them are not here, but some of them are actually still professors here. I can think of Professor Joe Prohl, who taught me fluid mechanics. I can think of Professor Quinn, who taught me vibration. Great teachers and fine scholars who not only understood that it is important for one to understand the theory, but actually taught us that theory without practice is misguided, and practice without theory is inconsequential. I also would like to thank my family. I came here with my lovely wife, Jabulile, all the way from Johannesburg, and we actually were lost in this campus. I couldn't even remember the residence that I actually attended. It is the same university, but it is very, very different. Thank you very much, and enjoy the rest of the afternoon.
Congratulations, Professor Marwala. Our final award is a Distinguished Alumni Award, which recognizes a graduate who has achieved extraordinary distinction and a career rooted at Case Western Reserve, and who has provided meritorious service to the university. This year, we have two esteemed recipients, a problem I'm sure many universities wish that they had. First, we are honored to recognize Fred Gray, School of Law, class of 1954, an honorary Doctorate of Laws recipient from the College of Arts and Science in 1992 with the Distinguished Alumni Award. Nominated by Emeritus faculty member John Intin, who is both a friend and admirer, Fred Gray is one of the nation's most distinguished civil rights lawyers. His clients have included Rosa Parks, Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., and the victims of the infamous Tuskegee syphilis experiment. He played significant roles in 4 landmark Supreme Court cases: Gale versus Browder, which outlawed segregation in public transportation and vindicated the Montgomery bus boycott; the NAACP versus Alabama, a major freedom of association case; Gomillion versus Lightfoot, the Tuskegee gerrymandering case that set the stage for the reapportionment case of the 1960s; and the New York Times Company versus Sullivan, one of the most significant First Amendment cases to make public officials to make clear that public officials generally may not sue their critics for defamation. Mr. Gray remains in a full-time law practice at his firm and is a past trustee of the university. He is an amazing example of what a Case Western Reserve alumnus can accomplish. For a lifetime of contributions to humanity, his profession, and his community, it is my honor to present Fred Gray with the 2016 Distinguished Alumni Award.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much, Madam President, Chairman of the Board, trustees, fellow alumni, ladies and gentlemen. I thought Jonathan had something to do with this, and I didn't know it until now. He has been, ever since I met him, talking about my work, keeping me close to the university, and I had in my prepared notes someplace down below, which I'll have to adjust them, something about him thinking that he did it. Now I know. Thank you very much, Jonathan, for everything. I'm happy to have my wife, Carol, who's here. She's a native Clevelander. Never been to Alabama until she met me, and she said she wanted to take care of me. I had been married for 40 years during the time I handled most of these cases, and she had been married for some 30-some-odd years, and we met through a mutual friend at a church here in Cleveland, and she said she wanted the job, and she's done a good job during the last 15 years. Thank you. Her son is here back there. My niece is also here, and any other special guests I have, thank you very much for coming, and thank all of you. And thank you for the standing ovation that you gave me a moment ago. I'm honored, appreciative, and humbled that this University Alumni Association has awarded me one of its 2016 Distinguished Alumni Awards. I am particularly honored that I could share it with Mr. Mandel, the other person, and I am just delighted to even be in an audience where any member of that family, because that family, as you know more than I, has been an established family who has done so much for so many, and I'm honored to be honored with him. First, I'm honored to receive the award because when I was a law school student here from 1951 to 1954, I never imagined ever getting any kind of award from this university. I came from Alabama, a completely segregated situation, never lived in an integrated facility before, and I was too busy working part-time jobs in order to obtain my legal education and studying hard to think about any award. So, and what I came here to do, when I entered this school, I entered it for the purpose of receiving a legal education, going back to Alabama, and destroying everything segregated I could find. And for 62 years, I've tried to do that. You've heard about these various cases that we'll handle, and I'm just happy that during this 62-year period of time, as a result of the legal education I received at this university, we have been able to help to change the landscape of this country. So I'm honored. But I also want you to know that what we did and what this university did through its law school for me in being able to help many others, we started a civil rights movement that has changed the entire complexion of this nation and has even helped to change the world. So in doing that, that history needs to be preserved. So after all these cases I worked on for the last 62 years, the last 15 years we have been working on a museum in Tuskegee, the Tuskegee Human and Civil Rights Multicultural Center, in order to help preserve that history. It's designed to do three things. One, to show the contributions made by the ethnic groups in the area. Two, to show the contributions made by the men in the infamous Tuskegee syphilis study. And three, to show what persons in the Tuskegee, Alabama area have made contributions in the field of human and civil rights. And several of you have been there. We are working on it. We have developed it from scratch. And we now have it at a point where it's one of the best small museums in the state of Alabama. We invite you to come to it and invite you to support it. That's what you can do to help us. I'm appreciative of this award because it comes the same day that this University Law School Law Review Symposium is entitled In Honor of Fred Gray, Making Civil Rights Law from Rosa Parks to the 21st Century. I have been in sessions all day this morning listening to professors from California to all over the country talk about these various cases, so I have had to relive those. But in doing that, I learned something from them, and that is those cases that I filed a long time ago, designed just to solve a problem, have been used by other lawyers and other judges in helping to make law. So then, I'm appreciative because by you honoring me, you also honor the law school, and we are thankful for the deans who are here too, because that law school helped to make it all possible. I am therefore, so I'll just skip all these other things. I would say two other things that I think is important. One, if my client that you knew about, Rosa Parks, would be here today, I'm sure she is someplace looking down on us and giving her consent to what is taking place here. But even more importantly, I think she would say that there was another person that most of you don't know about, a 15-year-old girl named Claudette Carbon, who did what Rosa Parks did, but did it 9 months before on March the 2nd, 1955. Without any preparation, I had prepared Mrs. Parks for about a year before she did what she did. But this young lady refused to get up her seat, and it gave moral courage to all of us. If there had been no Claudette Carbon, who did what she did on March 2nd, 1955, there would probably have been no Rosa Parks to do what she did on December 1st, 1955. If she had not, she would not have been arrested. There would have been no trial. There would have been no Montgomery bus boycott. Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. would not have been introduced to the world, and the whole civil rights movement would have been different, but for that one 15-year-old child. So I want you to know about her. So then, it is with deep humility that I accept this award on behalf of all those unknown heroes and clients whose names never appear in print, whose faces never appear in television. These are the persons that have laid the foundation so that you may honor me here tonight or this afternoon. I'm going to mention one other thing, and then I'm going to end. It is so wonderful for you to honor me here in Cleveland. But when you're able somehow that your own hometown decide to honor you, that's something. Well, guess what? The state of Alabama, through the Alabama Tourism Department, and through the city of Tuskegee, and through the Tuskegee Human and Civil Rights Multicultural Center that I just told you about, is going to unveil a historic marker in honor of Fred Gray on Wednesday, October 19th at 9:30 a.m. in Tuskegee, Alabama. And guess what? I even made the headlines of the Tuskegee News before I left. So thank you very much for everything that you've done, and thanks for this award.
Congratulations, Mr. Gray. That was wonderful. It is my honor to present to you our second distinguished alumni. We are pleased to recognize Mort Mandel, 2007 honorary degree recipient and Case Western Reserve class of 2013 alumnus with the 2016 Distinguished Alumni Award. Mr. Mandel was nominated by our board president, Jeff Verespri, who has witnessed the results driven by Mr. Mandel firsthand and is grateful not only as an alumnus of this university, but as a member of the Cleveland community. In addition to serving Case Western Reserve community as a university trustee, Mr. Mandel has supported the Cleveland community through charities that include our university, Jewish causes, human services, social sciences, and the redevelopment of the city, its culture, and its art. But more than that, Mr. Mandel is the embodiment of perseverance. Mr. Mandel began his undergraduate education in 1939 at Adelbert College, but left to serve the U.S. Army during World War II. After his military service, Mr. Mandel went into business with his brothers, building a worldwide enterprise that in 1996 was valued at $3 billion. With all of those accomplishments and an honorary degree that he received from the university in 2007, Mr. Mandel still returned to Case Western Reserve and received his bachelor's degree in 2013. Combining earlier college credits and presenting a senior capstone project on his management and leadership-focused book, It's All About Who, allowed him to receive his bachelor's degree 74 years after first enrolling. Mr. Mandel walked across the stage with his fellow graduates, becoming the first student to receive a standing ovation. His lifelong love of learning and his drive and dedication to both acquire and share knowledge truly makes him an inspiration to us all. For a life that embodies the values and spirit of Case Western Reserve University, it is my honor to present Mort Mandel with the 2016 Distinguished Alumni Award. I get a kiss? I'm so proud of you.
Thank you very much for those kind words. And I want to share with all of you how honored and pleased I am to receive this award, especially alongside of Fred Gray. That's a very moving story that Fred has lived, that to some extent I have lived a much easier struggle of anti-Semitism, nothing compared to what I heard from Fred. And frankly, it's a privilege. And I just want to tell you that I was very moved with your remarks, and so glad that we can share. I'm going to read your talk, so I'll give it to you. First, I'd like to say that being part of this university experience since 1939 really has been very important to me. In many ways, receiving my bachelor's degree was not the same as a lot of you have gone through 4 consecutive years, probably most of the people in this room. But it, to my surprise, was a very emotional experience for me. I had no idea. I remember President Snyder asking me, I have a word about you in a few minutes, asking me how did I want to receive my diploma. I had already received in 2007, I think it was, an honorary degree. And I said, let me think about it. And I decided in my great wisdom, one of the decisions that I made that was really very important, it turns out. I decided to march with my class of 2013, sit with them, and receive a diploma just as they did. I had no idea, and I've since mentioned this to President Snyder, I had no idea that I would walk up on this stage. Some of you I know were there, and wave it. And I did, and received a standing ovation, and I'm told by my colleagues that that is pretty rare. And I will tell you, just to finish that with that event, that was managed by President Snyder. Barbara Snyder called me one day and said, I think there's a way for you to get your degree, because I had tried to get my degree when I got back from military service. And I needed, I think, 16 hours of chemistry. And I said, I'm really going to instead sell automobile parts, which I did. But we found a way because of my book. Some of you know this. I wrote a book called It's All About Who. It's really largely about me, in the sense that it's the values, it's the beacons I've steered by. It's what I think is important to success. We're all on the journey to find meaning in life, a sense of purpose. As we make that journey, there are certain values that become important to us. And the point I make in my book, and Case Western Reserve University in the last 10 years, or however, is a good example of the point I was trying to make with It's All About Who. Exceptional people make exceptional contributions. And therefore, the search for exceptional people is what I think all leadership, all organizations, that's the course we're all on. And Fred Gray is an example. I think your current president is an example. And I'm going to say some not so nice things about Barbara in a minute. But, well, I'll say it now. Barbara, I admire you greatly for the transformation that you've led, along with your leadership and your faculty. But you are very dangerous. And I don't think there's anybody in this room who doesn't get that. But that's with love. So I think at this point, I'm really not going to keep going. If you ever find a chance to invite me back and you want to hear it all, there's more to come. But I do want to say again, seriously, this is an important event for me. I'm sorry that my wife, Barbara, who's a Flora Stone Mather graduate, cannot be with us, but my son, Tom, who's a Weatherhead graduate, is here carrying the torch for the Mandel family. In any event, again, thank you all very much.
All right. Dr. Rachitskaya, Ms. Fink, Mr. Foster, Professor Marwala, Mr. Gray, and Mr. Mandel, we celebrate you, we honor you, and we're proud to call you alumni of Case Western Reserve University. This concludes our luncheon. Enjoy homecoming weekend. As Mr. Foster said, come by the Alumni Center, see what we're doing. It's going to be great. So have a great homecoming. Thanks for being here.